Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. Today we're going to be talking about XRP. We're also going to be addressing what's happening in the market. I know that it hasn't been an exciting week. It hasn't been really, too much price action going on. That's totally fine. We are here for the long term, not the short term. So with that being said, let's jump into it. So first and foremost, we do see that the crypto market cap, let's refresh it, is sitting at a $2.10 trillion market cap. And I feel like this entire week that I have been making videos regarding, the market cap and stuff like that, we haven't really been moving. And that is actually a very good sign. But we are also going to talk about how that could be also a bad sign in terms of what could happen. So, with that being said, I'm going to be addressing the good and the bad. Let's just talk about it. So, Bitcoin currently sitting at about 48.8K. It did break a little bit over the 49.3K zone, but it couldn't hold above that, which we are going to talk about. We do see Ethereum still trending below the $3,300 mark. And of course, we do see XRP still sitting at about that $1.15 overall support zone. So a lot of altcoins are still sitting on their major supports. We could even talk about Hedera Hashgraph just shortly, as we are still ranging on that 25-cent overall support. So things still look good in terms of solidity. Everything is still looking fairly nice, as we do see even Bitcoin jump to 49K. Now, overall, we do see that in 1 hour, nearly 2 hours, we do see pretty much the Fear and Greed Index be updated. We'll most likely drop a little bit into the neutral zone or just kind of sit stable here, because there's nothing too alarming happening in the market. There's nothing too exciting happening in the market, of course. So I think that more so happens tomorrow. And I know a lot of people are going to be wondering, well, what happens tomorrow? Well, it's simple, right? So tomorrow the indices actually open. We've seen them, close fairly good on Friday. We do see the Dow Jones was up almost 250 points, NASDAQ up almost 200 points, and we also see the S&P 500 almost up 40 points. So a lot of these looked very good, right? Now, on Mondays, we usually get a little bit of some volatile price action. So I'm going to be watching these three tomorrow, and I do advise you guys to watch them as well. Now, I know a lot of people are going to scold me for saying this, but I do like to watch CNBC only for the stocks and also the Bitcoin price updates, because I don't know if you guys have ever watched CNBC, but basically they always have all the stocks, the three major ones, so the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and also the Dow Jones, paired with Bitcoin on there. So a lot of cryptocurrency news, as well as the indices. You don't really need to listen to what they're saying. You could honestly just put it on mute and just watch what happens with these threes, or you could just watch on TradingView as well. So I'm going to be watching these three very closely tomorrow. I'm also going to be watching the dollar, as we do see the dollar making some moves. We're actually coming down to retest that 50-day MA, which is very good as well. To be completely honest with you guys, I've been watching this very closely, as we do range below that resistance point at about 92.74%. The dollar is very important to watch just right now. There's a lot of things happening in the world right now in regards to some bad things. We see the stuff over in Afghanistan. We also see, hurricanes happening and stuff like that. So there's going to most likely be a lot of spending, a lot of money being printed and stuff like that. That will most likely help the case of getting this dollar to drop below these major levels. I think that happens sometime in September. As you guys already know, I've been telling you guys that this fall into winter is actually going to be life-changing for a lot of people who have been holding through all of this volatility. The dollar is very, very important to watch, as well as with the indices, as you guys already know. Now, of course, in regards to this, a lot of things are doing the same thing in terms of the crypto market, especially even XRP, right? Because I know that this video is always titled with XRP, but we don't really talk about it until later on in the video. But actually, I'm going to start with XRP. So with that being said, let's move over to XRP. So a lot of things are happening in the same gist of it. For an example, right now, XRP is putting a massive bull flag. Just to give you guys an insight on what a bull flag looks like, this is pretty much a bull flag here. I mean, this is like a minor one. It's nothing too crazy. Now this, as you guys can see, this looks like a massive bull flag. Now, yeah, you could argue that it looks like it's in a downtrend, like we might come down here and retest $1.05 before eventually breaking out of $1.15. Yeah, that could be the argument point. We've been pretty much in this entire chop zone from $1.31 to basically $1.05. Now, obviously, what I'm waiting for, and I already kind of showed you guys this on, I think it was Friday's video, I want to say. Basically, I'm watching for a break above this level and actually holding this. It's technically a $1.35, as you guys can see the clear pattern that we printed up here at this major resistance point. Now, obviously, I'm watching this. I'm off the, wow, I can't even talk. I'm obviously also watching for the lower price points down here at like $1.05. So either one of these being broken is going to give us a clear validation point on where we are headed. For an example, if we break above $1.35 and actually hold, we will come up here and settle somewhere above that $1.35. I honestly think that we most likely jump to about $1.70. Just to give you guys an insight on why $1.70 is very important is because that is some major resistance points that we topped out a bit here, going even back to the beginning of May. We even talk about, pretty much May 1st. Look at, again, resistance points being broken here. We tried to break out again during pretty much almost the end of May. We couldn't really break it. Now, you could also argue that $1.50, which I would 100% agree with you, is some major resistance points as well. We do see us trying to break out of it multiple times along the board. Now, yeah, I do think that we'll eventually break out and get above these easily. We even see over here, look at these massive candles that pretty much wicked us above those major resistance points. Now, again, in regards to where we are headed for XRP, I've already talked to you guys about my total price targets. Now, I do plan on releasing some sort of video or some sort of website, for an example, where you could pretty much see my exit strategies fully. I'm going to go in depth on them, so they're going to be pretty good in terms of where I'm going to be selling at, what percentages I'm going to sell at. It's going to be pretty in depth. I do plan on releasing that at some point in time. I, of course, will let you guys know that. But I already did a video on my exit strategy. You can pretty much find it on my YouTube channel. But my price targets for XRP still remain at double-digit figures. I'm not going to be selling a massive amount, at $3, $5, $6, $7, $8, whatever the case may be. I'm holding long-term. I believe in XRP long-term. I believe in their vision, the overall project insight. Now, obviously, we do see some things loading up here. For an example, the 200 and the 50-day MA are about to close, or I should say cross. And we do see every single time that we did cross, we've seen some price validation dropping to the lower amounts. I'm not too concerned with it, as we did see even the 100-day and the 50-day pretty much cross again. And even back here, we've seen a massive drop in price, and we actually didn't see that at all. It's been sitting stable, so I don't think that we moved too much along the lines of any crossing of the MAs. I know a lot of people will most likely capitalize on that and say, oh, it's a death cross, but it's actually not. I think everything is still looking fairly good, and everything is trading sideways realistically, even going back to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is doing this nice sideways trading, the same sideways trading, I should add, that we did back here before we jumped. Same sideways trading that we did here before we jumped, because like this entire pattern that we're trading in, so I'll just mark it on the chart. So this looks eerily similar to this before we really jumped out and tested a high. Now, obviously, I think from here, if we could get some price breakout on this X, because I also do the same thing for XRP. There's two main targets to watch for. Again, same with Bitcoin. We do see that this support has held strong on the 200-day MA. I told you guys that we will most likely retest it, and we have retested it twice actually. So there is a lot of strength there. There is a lot of buy pressure there. So we do not we most likely don't break down below that. If we do break down below it, it will most likely be in the beginning of September, just to give you guys that insight. Now, in regards to where we will break out of from this point, if we do break above this X, which we have broken up a little bit below it or above it before we ended up breaking below it. Again, it's the same thing that we did back here. We retested it multiple times before we actually tried to break out. Now, the next line of defense for Bitcoin is obviously that 50.5K zone. Again, that is a resistance point even going back here to the middle of May and also even the end of April. It's one of those main, like even here, right? We struggled with it on March 3rd before we eventually broke out, and it ended up doing pretty much a 25% of an increase in price, and that would bring us to about 61K. So I do think 60K is on the horizon for Bitcoin. This will obviously lead XRP into moving significantly as well, because we haven't decoupled fully just yet from Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance, again, is doing that nice sideways trading, and again, I have two X's marked on the chart here, a break above this or a break below this. I am ranging for a break below this. That will pretty much allow our altcoins to really kind of move in price. Again, you know, what's funny with this pattern that it's printing, it's pretty much the opposite, or I should say the flip of Ethereum dominance, right? So we have basically been just sideways trading here. There's nothing really to report in terms of Ethereum dominance. We've broke below the 100 and also the 50-day MA, so now we range to get to support. That support zone will most likely be held here on this line. If we do not hold this line, we'll obviously test lower. That's why this line's here as well. And then from there, we pretty much range to go even lower at 17.44%. So I'm watching Ethereum closely as well, as you know, Ethereum is basically doing this massive sideways trading. This is all consolidation, just to give you guys that insight. It's the same consolidation that we've seen in the past before we've seen a massive breakout. For an example, here's some consolidation before we get that major breakout, and a little bit of consolidation here before we ended up breaking out. I mean, it's just kind of that nice sideways trading that we even see with, you know, even going back to HBAR and stuff. So again, you know, all of these altcoins have that nice consolidation pattern. It's typically a fairly long pattern too. Like, you know, from this major dropping point to the next major breakout, it was like 82 days. So we got to really watch for how long something consolidates, because once it does consolidate for a fairly long time, the breakout is fairly nice. For an example, even going back to the beginning of February, actually, to pretty much the beginning of April. So this was February 2nd to April 4th. It was 61 days, and that led us to this major breaking point on XRP all the way up to that almost $2 range. And even if we go off of the bottom candle, which was actually back in the beginning of February, if you bought here, which is roughly 33 cents, and you rode this all the way up, that's 500% of an increase in price. So, and you're still in good profit even now. Like, even from that current level to our current price, that's still almost half of what that percentage was. So these nice consolidation periods give you great buy-ins. I think that we've had some great buy opportunities throughout this entire market. So I think right now we just kind of wait. Everything is kind of consolidating. To be completely honest with you, it's all sideways trading. So until we get a validation point on price action, which I do think will happen this week that we are ranging into, nothing's going to really change too much. But nonetheless, I'm still happy with what is happening. Things still look very good. There's nothing, you know, too alarming. Bitcoin's holding fairly strong. Like I said, it's found some like solid support down here at that 46K zone. So I think right now, we just look for a nice breaking point here, and I do think that tomorrow could get a little bit volatile with indices and the dollar. So I'm going to be watching tomorrow very closely. Obviously, I'm going to update you guys. I update you guys pretty much every single day of the week. So I will definitely be here tomorrow to let you guys know what's happening. So with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.